In this episode of Resistance Recon, we're going to do a review of Episode 6 and talk a little bit about Kylo Ren, the Children of Tehar, and Captain Doza. In Episode 6 of Star Wars Resistance gave us some juicy information, in my opinion, regards to Kylo Ren, the Children of Tehar, and Captain Doza. We learned that Kylo Ren is responsible for the destruction and the massacre of the village on Tehar, that the children are from the unknown regions as well as the planet and are the sole survivors of their village. It is also learned, as I speculated in my previous video, that Captain Doza is in fact clearly working with the First Order, just enough to give them what they need without compromising the station, himself, or his daughter. We also learned that Captain Doza knows of Tehar or is aware of its existence. All in all, I have to say this episode was fun. I enjoyed it personally, and it gave us just enough information on the larger story arc to keep us on our toes and to look forward to what is to come as we get closer and closer to The Force Awakens. Although, I will admit that there were points that the humor just does not feel right for me. But we also have to keep in mind that this is a show for children, and not all of the humor is going to hit with adults. Despite that, I really enjoyed the show. I love the turtle people. I thought they were a really cool design and a very fun addition to the various species in Star Wars. They reminded me of the mechanics in Mass Effect that took care of the Citadel. I also have to admit, I am a big fan of Commander Pry and his golden armor. Man, it's pretty BA. I love how we're getting these variants of Stormtrooper armor that is a reflection of their personality, strengths, and devotion to the First Order. I also really enjoyed the building relationships between the various members of Team Fireball, as Kaz struggles to find a part to replace Tam's ship. Reminds me of RPG games and the missions that you'll get, sometimes really simple to really obscure and ridiculous. One thing that I really enjoy about Resistance is how much the world relies on you to survive, that everyone has to do their part, and if you don't, well, everyone else suffers. It's a very good life lesson for Kaz and the viewers of the show to learn. Since Kaz spent a majority of his life relying on his father, the wealth and position that the New Republic gave them, it's moments like this where we build upon the world of the Colossus. While doing so, we get to learn about the galaxy's function and behavior prior to the events in The Force Awakens. I know some people may consider this episode a filler. If we have learned anything from Dave Filoni on Rebels, every episode has a point. I feel that in this episode, certain things will be revisited in the future. Now, on to my speculations. I would first like to start off with my suspicions as to why Kylo Ren destroyed the village. We know the show takes place 6 months before The Force Awakens, and with the final scene showing Kaz providing updates on his mission, it coincides with Poe being sent on his mission to locate Lor San Tekka in the Poe Dameron comic book series. This made me think, are we getting a reference to Kylo Ren searching for Lor San Tekka as well? Is it possible, as I said in my previous video, that the people of Tehar worship the Force through their religion, and that Lor San Tekka spent time among the villagers, learning about their religion, the Force, and perhaps gaining knowledge as well as artifacts? Did Kylo Ren head to the planet to search for answers, or for Lor San Tekka himself? Upon arrival, did the answers he was given cost the villagers of Tehar their lives? Were the villagers slave laborers, and after the First Order had their fill of them, they sent Kylo Ren to wipe them out? This is not the first time the First Order has erased an entire group of people to maintain their secrecy. Brendol Hux did so with the planet of Parnassus, where Phasma is from. Rose and Paige lost their entire family and people when the First Order tested their weapons on the very people who built them on the planet of Hayes Minor. I'm also suspicious that these children may potentially be Force sensitive. Until we understand the reason why Kylo Ren was after them, all we can do is speculate. That they are either Force sensitive and that he wanted them as students under the watchful eye of the Knights of Ren, or he saw them as threats and he wanted them dead along with the entire village to prevent any more Force sensitive children to be created, or any secrets regarding the First Order and the unknown regions to slip out. If I recall, I do remember seeing a trailer for Resistance and seeing Kylo Ren's shuttle arrive to the Colossus to search for the children when it is uncovered that they are alive. This is just a speculation on my point. If that's the case, it reminds me of Darth Vader in various comics where he sends others to do his bidding only for them to fail and for him to finish the job right. This leads into my thoughts on Captain Doza and my suspicion he knows of Tehar. Seeing as the children escaped on a transport, it's clear that Tehar has a spaceport located somewhere on its planet. I would not be surprised that Captain Doza in his past has either visited the planet or is aware of its existence. Clearly, this man has been through the unknown regions, due to the expression near the end of the episode as he held on to the symbol Kaz gave him. For his past is just as mysterious as his ambitions for the future. What are the chances perhaps his wife was from Tehar? Questions I'm sure will be answered, most likely by his daughter, while conversing with Kaz. All I know is from the way this episode ends, this is not the last we'll see of these children. We know their story may tie into episode 9, potentially. What are the chances leaked photos of episode 9 with Finn and Poe are on the planet Tehar, or even Batu? Well, this wraps up this episode of Resistance Recon. Don't forget to leave a comment with your thoughts on this episode. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, blast that like button, punch the bell to make the jump to light speed notification, and remember, don't hate, speculate. Let's make the galaxy far, far away represent all. Much love, and may the Force bind and surround us all.